Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Preston and Ryan, and we are here on another episode of Adventures with Pictures. And today we have a lovely guest, Megan. Say hello, Megan, to everybody.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, how you doing? So we always like to start with light, real life. And so we just want to say, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Yesterday was my birthday, and it was a lot of fun. I'm 24, I feel really young. But yeah, I got to go skiing. I have a twin, and so he lives far away from me. So it was really nice to see him, get to hang out with him, and heck yeah.
Oh, okay, that's wonderful. Hey, you got a twin. Yeah, my wife's a twin, so I don't know anything
Nice.
about it.
That's a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I had a twin, but I don't know if I could have another of me because I feel like I'm unique, in a lot of ways. But yeah,
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I think it's like a built-in best friend from my perspective. So it's pretty cool, but I didn't always think that way. That's for sure. Growing up, it was so annoying to just like, I don't know, always be in the same friend group and always be compared to one another. And then we got older and it was just like, okay, now we're just friends. It's okay.
Okay, that's wonderful. That same thing, similar to what my wife says, sharing and dressing alike and all this craziness. I'd be like, I ain't got to do nothing, deal with none of that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So yeah, let's get right into it. We want to know, how did Megan get started? What was her journey? What was her process?
What is my journey? Let's see. So I actually didn't leave the country or really go on vacations until I was 19. My family didn't really go places. Whenever we were younger, we would like take family trips to like Chicago and places, where we had family, but other than that, we didn't really just like travel just for fun. And so whenever I got older, my brother, he moved to Germany for a little bit. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to college. I don't really know what else to do. So I moved to Chicago. I live in St. Louis, or that's where I grew up. And so yeah, it was like just leaving home 6 hours away, big city, like was so excited about it. And I had a friend that was studying abroad in Italy when I was 19. And so she was like, you should come visit. And I was like, yeah, that sounds fun. I've never been to Italy. I've never really been anywhere. And so I went to go visit her for 2 weeks and I used up all my vacation and just had the best time ever. And I was like, man, I got to do this more. And so I went back to Chicago and I was young and paying for college out of my pocket, my absurd rent out of pocket, and travel like wasn't totally in the cards, but I saved up all my money this one summer and ended up going to like 10 different countries in Europe. I took like 2 months off. I went through a breakup and I was like, I just need to go somewhere by myself and just like get lost and just like figure it out. And so I did that and it was amazing and I loved it. And I went to the Swiss Alps for a little bit and I was like, man, what am I doing living in a city? I need to leave. And so yeah, I packed up my stuff as soon as I got back to Chicago, and me and my dog, we just drove to Colorado. It was a great time. We were there for the last 13 months and yeah, I've been back here for like 2 weeks, but yeah, pretty much just whenever I want to go somewhere, I go somewhere. Obviously, this last year, travel has been a lot different. And me and my friends in Colorado all had Jeep Wranglers. So we loved to just go off-roading all the time. We just went anywhere in the West, like all through Colorado, Utah, places like that, and just like had a really fun summer. And yeah, now it's just kind of, if a trip kind of pops up, I take it. I'm not really planning anything right now for this year. I'm really just trying to like save money for something big whenever we can travel again. So yeah, I'm just taking little trips here and there for now.
Okay, I understand that. First of all, that sounds very fun, especially just sometimes we can all have that nice getaway to just, you know what, let me just clear my mind, just travel. I think that's one of the best ways, to clear your mind. Actually, just to rewind a little bit, we normally do it at the end, but whenever I can remember, I love to do it at the beginning and the end. How can people, just get in contact with you or just see some of your travel adventures? You know, do you have any type of social media accounts, blogs, anything like that?
Yeah, so I have a blog. It's called Lost and Found Travel. It's just laftravel.com. And then you can find me on Instagram as well at LAF Travel. Yeah, pretty easy, pretty basic. We have a lot of fun on Instagram. And then my blog is very detailed word for word instructions on anything solo travel, outdoor travel guides, stuff like that. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks.
Also, like I said, I lived in Europe for 3 years, and just the travel opportunities are just amazing because it's not as expensive as in the States. You know, the States, they always, they really just tax your pockets, you know, but
yeah, they do.
Yeah, like, so, but, you go overseas and you can just hop around to each country for like $20 or 30.
Right, it's so easy. You just hop on a train, you stay at a hostel. I like the hostel aspect of other countries versus America. I feel like that's where you really get to know people and it's cheap and just, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
hostels are really cheap. Yeah. So, yeah, I've never stayed in a hostel, but
Really?
yeah, I never stayed in a hostel. I always stayed in hotels. And recently I tried an Airbnb and I had a wonderful experience with that. But I do plan on staying in a hostel just to get that experience. Because I know a lot of people, like a lot of backpackers and nomads, that lifestyle, they do a lot of hostels. And they be having like a lot of cool, fun stories. I'd be like, man, I might have to try, some of these hostels. And like you said, it also saves you money because, you can stay in a hostel $5, $10, $15, whatever the price may be. But that's pretty, awesome.
Yeah, hotels and Airbnbs, they have their perks too, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely do.
Definitely much cozier.
So that's the thing with me. I like privacy. I like to go to my room, downgrade my gear, bags, just chill out. Got my private bathroom. So that's where the hostel lifestyle loses me on the. Not so much the room. I can do the room because I was in the military, so I'm used to sleeping anywhere. With anybody, it's like 400 people in one room. I'm like, all right, so that part don't bother me. It is the bathroom situation that bothers me. Like I am not down the hallway to a group bathroom or somebody that used the bathroom in there blowing it up. I'm like, oh no, I can't do that.
And if you forget your shower shoes, it's just not a fun time. It's not.
I've left my shower shoes in certain places, and I'd be like, they'd be like, well, I guess you're going barefooted. You're wrong. I will wear my shoes in there. These shoes that just became slippers.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, plus you can take a bath in your private bathtub. That's the best part.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what I just think, like I said, the more I get into this, because we've only been doing this for probably about a little less than a year, and with the current situation, it's kind of slowed down the travel. But when I do get, rocking and rolling again, I'm going to try to do all that. Like I said, I've been looking at your page for a while, and I just love your page. And there's some stuff that you've done that I'm like, man, I really want to start doing this. And that's like hiking, more outdoorsy stuff. So I really want to, talk about that, later on in the show as far as, some of the best hiking places you've been, lakes, mountain ridge, anything, anything that's dealing with outdoor, because that's something I really, really want to get into. So, but, before I get into that, so my first question would be like, so what type of traveler are you when you do travel? Are you, budget or, hey, luxury,
It depends where I'm going. I definitely, before I'm gonna go anywhere, I look at my budget first and see what that is. And then I start looking at what kind of places I want to go to. It's generally like I kind of just envision what I'm looking for. Like, do I want to go hiking? Do I want to stay in a city? Do I want to have easy access to people? Do I want to try restaurants? And kind of go from there as to what my budget and what I'm looking for is. And then I start looking for places that sound fun. But I do like to kind of mix it up. Like I like to go on trips that have multiple different aspects to it. And so I'll say I'm going to France. I'll probably look somewhere a little bit more budget friendly. And then take a quick train ride or a plane over to Switzerland, and I know that I'm going to be spending a lot of money there, even on a backpacker's budget. It's really expensive. So it really depends where I'm going, what I'm looking for. And that's kind of how I plan that.
Okay.
Cool. I like it. As Preston mentioned, not only is he a fan of your page, me too. I like the photos, no problem. See, I'm more of like the photography fanatic. So let me just put a disclaimer. Feel free to tell me it's none of your business from this question, but what type of camera do you use? Because those are some nice photos that I really see. Like I love even on your blog, I see you had like the before and then how it looks after you retouch it and stuff like that. Well, what are you shooting with?
So I'm actually using an iPhone whenever I travel because it really scares me to have big, bulky, expensive things and carrying them around all the time. I don't want anything to happen to it. So when I'm around home, I have just a Canon Rebel. I'm really not the best photographer in the world. I see the moments that like I go to these fun places and I see these cool things and I'm like, dang, how can I like just remember this and this feeling and this memory and just bring it back home? Like that's the kind of souvenir that I want. And so I just like try to capture it the best I can with my phone, and then I edit it in Lightroom. I do use an app called Raw Plus, which it gives you some DSLR features and allows you to shoot in manual. You can adjust the ISO, the aperture, the shutter speed and whatnot. And so, yeah, I just use that. And then I transfer it over to Lightroom to edit. And really, I think the editing is what kind of makes things come alive. And just like really, you can like change the mood, bring out the colors and everything like that. And so, yeah, while I have like a basic DSLR, for the most part, I'm really just shooting on my iPhone and editing it.
It looks very fly, and I too am a fan of Lightroom. So okay, nice to know.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, if you want to just have nice photos, Lightroom is just a game changer. I really believe you can shoot on anything, and if you can just have a good eye and edit it really well, then it's gonna come out just fine.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm looking at your pictures like I know you downplaying yourself, which is fine, but I'm like, these are amazing shots, like the angles, like, and that's the thing about it is, because Ryan is actually teaching me how to take pictures because because the camera don't make you a photographer, it does come down to the basics of, do you have an eye for this? So, and I'm saying that's one of the things that caught my eye on your Instagram page. I was like, man, like I really want to get to know you, talk to you, bring you on the show because these pictures are awesome. And, the editing process, stuff like that. So I'm glad you touched on all that because I don't do any of that.
You'll get there though. It really just takes practice. And I think the best thing to do is just go on Pinterest and kind of get a feel for what kind of vibes you're looking for, kind of what you want to capture. And then have an actual vision and a plan going into places. And then once you start shooting, then it gets a lot easier and things just kind of come naturally, I think. But yeah, you'll get there, and I can't wait to see your photos too.
I appreciate it because all the other pictures, I'd be like, oh, these are trash. I'd be like, and that's the thing about it. And I say that jokingly, but I'd be like, I'm serious though, because I'd be like, when I was taking photos of all these places that I used to go to, I wasn't in business entrepreneur, mind, just I was not in that frame. So now that I actually started my own LLC and I'm actually trying to get into blogging and stuff like that. And I started looking back on my pictures, I'd be like, the hell was I shooting? It's like, so, but like my wife and my friends, they'd be like, look, man, you're still young. You can, still go back to these places and take better photos and actually try to get a good shot. Like normally I just, like I said, with you, like I was in Europe, everything was on my cell phone. I'll just be like, click, all right, we're good. I didn't angle it. I didn't say, okay, I want to get this, so that's one of the downsides of that. But like I said, now going forward, I will be actually taking my time. I'll take 3,000 pictures if I have to, just to get the right. So
take way more pictures than you think you need. You're gonna narrow it down to like 10, but yeah, I start with like 500 photos, I swear, of like a place, and just narrow it down. You'll pick your favorites.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
And you'll just keep getting better over time. And then you're going to look at your pictures before and you're going to be like, dang, look how much I improved.
Yeah, she's right, man. Like, rest in peace. I kind of have that Kobe Bryant mentality when I go into a photo shoot. Hey, I'm gonna just keep shooting. One of these is gonna look nice. I'm gonna keep.
Yeah, one of them's got to turn out okay. Just one. That's all we need.
Just keep shooting.
Dang, something gonna go in. That's so funny. But yeah, I appreciate that. So one of the other things is like I always like to ask this question. How many states have you been to and in countries?
I've been to somewhere between 10 and 12 countries. Sometimes I don't really count them because it's like Vatican City and like Monaco, and I would really consider those to be like parts of other countries, I guess. And I don't consider, like, I've been to Germany plenty of times, but I've never really like explored it because my brother, like I said, lived there for a year. And so he doesn't want me to go there until he can kind of like show me around his home and stuff like that. So it's a place that I stop into a lot and then kind of go somewhere else. As far as states go, I've been to a lot of West states, definitely the entire Midwest. And I've been to a few places in New England, but not a ton. I've been to New York. Yeah, that's about it. So I really need to get up there. I know that for sure. But yeah, mostly like the Midwest and the West, I'm very familiar with, but I haven't actually like counted it, I guess, which I should do that because that would be fun.
That's fine. That's cool.
That's what we did. We counted our states, and I was like, I've only been to roughly 23, 24 states, and I was like, oh,
yeah. I've probably, been to about that. I've been to a lot of places multiple times. But yeah, overall, I mean, I travel for just, I don't know, the fun of it. And so whenever I put like a number goal to it, that's when I feel like it kind of takes away from the experience. Because I'm like, oh, I got to get to this many places. And it's like, okay, but did I enjoy those places? Did I like get everything I needed out of it?
That's a good point. That's a great point. Great point. And just, just on that same mindset of traveling, whether it's states, countries, whatever. One of the things just by doing these nice conversations we have with people, I always find interesting like the different spins that people have on like their do's and don'ts when it comes to traveling. Like, what are some of your do's and don'ts when it comes to just traveling? You say you do solo travel, correct?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. So what are your like do's and don'ts when making solo travels?
Oh, there's a lot of don'ts. Don't talk to random strangers. If you need to ask for directions, I find that like a parent with a kid or like local shop workers, those are very good people to ask questions to. But other than that, don't just be like walking up to random people on the street. If you are traveling alone, never tell somebody that you are traveling alone. I did this one time. This was so stupid. I was in Rome and I dropped my phone in the Trevi fountain and it broke, and I was going to be in Italy for another week. And so I just like had a week without a phone, but I'm like sitting there crying and these guys come up behind me and they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, oh, I'm here by myself, like my phone just broke, like blah blah blah. And I was like, oh god, I shouldn't have said that. And then they were like, here, get in the cab, we'll show you a good time, it's okay, like we just want to like ease your stress. And I mean, they did. Like it was a good time and they were very nice people, but looking back, I certainly don't recommend doing that. So yeah, definitely just keep your wits about you. Just if you wouldn't do something at home, don't do it somewhere else. I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah, so those are some don'ts. The do's, I would say, definitely get lost. Like just wander down streets. Don't plan things as much as you think you need to. Literally just wander into random shops, take a train to a fun city that sounds cool. What else? Just keep a level head all the time. I think that's the biggest thing. Just keep a level head and if you get lost, don't freak out. Just see everything as a fun opportunity. I've taken plenty of wrong trains and ended up in the wrong place. And I'm just like, you know what? It's not what I was planning to do today, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be fun. So let's just see what happens and go for it, I guess.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for that. And even like I'm glad that worked out for you. But you're definitely not alone when it comes to you make a decision that you might have shouldn't have, but it worked out anyway. I remember one of the times I went to Vegas. Me and my brother went out there. The night is young. We were both young, and I'll go into the details another episode. But long story short, me and my brother was little buzzed, and this random limo comes up and was like, "Hey, you guys want to go for a good time? I know places where I take to like nice club, a little lounge." And we both was like, heck yeah, sure, let's go. And it ended up being like a legit lounge and stuff like that. But hindsight, that we could have been like taken for or something like that. So
I know. I think when you're with a group of people and maybe they're a group of people, it could be more trustworthy. But yeah, overall, if a random stranger just comes up to you, just be like, hey, I don't really feel like talking today. I don't know you. Sorry. Like I've said that to people before, and they've always been respectful about it. It's like, okay, a young girl walking alone at night doesn't want to talk to me. Okay, like fine.
Yeah, makes sense. Right.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad that worked out for you.
And I say you guys are brave. I'd be like, hell no. But I'm gonna say thank you that that it worked out for both of you guys. So what I like to say is so have you experienced any pitfalls? Like what's some of the pitfalls that you experienced on like your journeys and things of that nature?
Oh, I've definitely experienced quite a few. The first time I ever traveled abroad, like I said, I was meeting a friend in Italy, but I had a weekend layover in Paris beforehand, and I had never been out of the country before. I took French for 4 years in high school, and I'm much better with my French now, having been in France for a while. But that first time, I just like landed in Paris, and I just didn't know what to do. Like I was like trying to figure out the train system, and I couldn't figure it out. And I went to the Eiffel Tower and I went to Notre Dame, and I was just like, okay, well, also it was like 30 degrees and my luggage went straight to Italy. And so I didn't have my phone charger. I was just wearing my plain sweatpants from like a red-eye flight, and I couldn't understand anyone, and I was not having a good time. And so I was like, and people were rude. So I was just like, I'm out of here. Like, I don't care. So I just stayed in my hotel for like 2 days, and it's like, oh, I'll go back to Paris one day. I don't want to write off the city as a whole, because I definitely thought it was pretty, but like I just wasn't in the right place for that mentally. And then what else? There was that time in Rome, which was not great. When I was in Italy, the last time I was in Italy, I totally just kept getting lost, and I was getting on the wrong trains at the wrong times, going to the wrong places, and I was just like, whatever, here I am. I don't know. And then I was in Amsterdam one time, and this guy was just like following me around from bar to bar, and I was like, God, I don't like this. And he just kept trying to talk to me, wouldn't leave me alone. I eventually went up to this like random group of girls, and I was like, hey, do you guys mind if I hang out with you? This guy won't leave me alone. And they're like, yeah, of course, like come on. And they're still my friends, they're still cool people. So I don't know. Yeah, I definitely learned a lot from all those experiences. And I think that's why I'm not really like scared of anything happening whenever I'm traveling, because I've probably been through it before. So, and it worked out. So it's like, whatever happens is going to happen.
Yeah, true. Well, I'm glad that worked out. And you know what, going back to something you said earlier, I'm a huge, when I vacation or travel, I'm a huge fan of just getting lost in the moment as well, not necessarily, relying heavily on an itinerary. Like you said, just get lost in the moment, just randomly see where the day takes you. What's I know you have plenty of memory, but what's one memory that sticks out to you when you took that let's just get lost in the day moment? What's one memory that sticks out?
Yeah, when I was in Lake Como, Italy, I just kept taking the wrong trains, the wrong buses, and I actually ended up in this cute little medieval town called Nesso, which had like a stone bridge and like this like gorgeous, just abandoned castle looking thing. It was very small, but whatever. It was still very cool. So I got to tour that, and then I just like wandered around the town, and there was like 2 people there total. Like I hardly ran into anybody. There was only one restaurant open, and all they were serving was 1 drink, and I was really hungry, but whatever. They gave me some snacks and some wine, and they're like, here, ease your nerves. And but yeah, I like just stumbled onto that super cool town, and I took French in high school, and then I took Italian in college. And I had been in Italy for like a total of 3 weeks in my life at that point, like spread out throughout a couple of trips. But I was like, you know what, this might be a good place to practice my Italian because no one spoke English. And so I was able to converse with them, and that was just really great because I would not have had that like authentic Italian experience, I think, if I wouldn't have just like been like, here I am, let's figure out what happens, I guess. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, that's good. That sounds awesome. Like I said, like I wish I would did a little bit more of that when I lived in Europe, because I was more concentrating on like the bigger cities and things of that nature. So I wish I would have did that. If I ever get a chance to do over, I'm definitely gonna try to hit like little cities, little towns, villages, and stuff like that. But
yeah,
awesome.
I would love to take a road trip and just like find these like little towns all the time. I think that would be so cool. There's a lot of
the blessing of the language, in Italy, Italian, whatever. So that helps a lot when you know the language. I'd be banking on like who knows English in here. It's like I'm looking around like you look like English. So
I mean, if you have like pictures on your phone of like something you might need, if you just like Google that, people generally respond well to that. Or if you have Google Translate and you just type in a couple of words of what you're looking for, it's pretty easy for people to kind of figure out what you're looking for. Yeah.
I use Google Translate all the time. I didn't really have to use it in Europe as much. Like actually, I don't think I use it at all in Europe. In Europe they pretty much speak English. Somebody speaks English, pretty much somewhere. I use Google Translate more in the Caribbean or South America, Central America. I'd be like, man, nobody speaks English around here. It's
no.
And my Spanish is. I took Spanish in high school and college too, but I guess I didn't pay attention. So
I will say it's very difficult to translate like what you learn in school versus like the real world application. It's not the same, and anyone who tells you it is lying to you.
Like I said, like some things translate as far as certain words or whatever like that, but then I had to really learn that speaking Spanish, you just it's different dialects or whatever. So people in Mexico speak totally different than the people like say in Spain or Colombia or whatever. So I had to learn that a little bit. So certain words don't translate all the way over, or it might have 2 different meanings depending on which region you are at. So I learned that the hard way.
I bet.
But it was all good. So my next question is, what has been your favorite destination so far?
Ooh, it changes by the day. But currently I would definitely say Interlaken, Switzerland. I love the mountains and I love the outdoors. And Interlaken was just the coolest place to just like walk around the mountains, found super cool lakes, like beautiful. Everywhere you turn is just gorgeous, and they have good food. Everyone there is so kind. There's random caves everywhere. You just like are taking a walk and just see this like random cave in the side, and you're like, man, that's so cool. The houses are cute. There's nothing bad about Switzerland. Nothing. It's just a gorgeous place. Have you been?
Yeah, I've been to Switzerland before.
Oh,
yeah. Switzerland. I went to like the Alps and stuff like that. Because I didn't know the Alps. I guess I might have known, but I just never really thought about it. Because when you hear the Swiss Alps, you just think, oh, the Alps are only in Switzerland. But no, it's a mountain range. And it goes across country. So, because I was in Germany, I was like, yeah, that's the, that's the German Alps or whatever. I was like, ain't no damn German Alps. It's like,
I know.
so yeah, it was just like I didn't really think about it, and I was like, after I was telling, like, oh yeah, duh, it's a mountain range, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, Switzerland is beautiful. Yeah, I can't wait.
Okay.
There's so many different cities I want to go back to, but yeah, Switzerland is awesome.
Okay. That definitely sounds fun. I haven't been, but according to you two, I definitely could go.
Yeah, you do.
Now, once again, just from your blog, your social media content, you're definitely heavy into travel, which we both really adore. But in an alternate universe, in an alternate world, how you want to, phrase it, if you weren't so into traveling, what would you be doing?
So actually before I got super into traveling, I went to college for nutrition and I was very heavy into personal training and nutrition coaching, which I still do a little bit. I'm just kind of weaning off of that a little bit and transitioning fully to travel. But yeah, without getting too sappy into it, I had an eating disorder. I was diagnosed with anorexia when I was 9. And then I struggled with that until I was 19. So for a very, very long time. And I eventually learned how to just be kind to myself and be strong and healthy. And whenever I kind of learned that, I learned that a lot of women just didn't have good relationships with food. And it's such a waste to just not love yourself. And like these women were so inspiring to me and I'd always looked up to them, and to see them just like, I don't know, have their little eating habits and be like, no, I don't deserve to like have that brownie. I'm like, yeah, you do. Eat it. Like it's okay. So yeah, I really enjoyed nutrition coaching for a long time. And I really like that. So I would definitely be doing that.
Oh, yeah, and then thank you for just, highlighting that. It is something that people don't like to talk about a lot. I know, once again, not to get too sappy into it as well, but I know, when it comes to like America's society and beauty standards, I know that could put a lot of pressure on women, no matter the race. Just, that's a lot of pressure on women when you have to try to meet all these American beauty standards, and you see things on TV like, okay, if this woman don't look like that, does that mean she's ugly and things of that nature? So yeah. So I thank you for bringing that up. That is, quite a concern, and I try to teach my daughter to not try to give into those type of stereotypical, standards that you see on, Hollywood television, or the Instagram models who, maybe have doctored up their body to look a certain way. So I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah. No need to compare yourself to anybody else, no matter who you are. Just you're dope and you're perfect the way that you are, and just accept that and love it and move on. Have a good day.
Yeah, exactly. I believe in that too, because I got 4 daughters.
Oof.
I'll be on their back. Like they'd be like, Dad, I want to put on makeup. For what? You look
right.
Good. You look good how you are. You woke up beautiful. So, I let them, well, my older daughter, so my older daughter will be 16 next month. But so she's trying to get, she's starting to, she's in like 10th grade. So she's starting to, I guess, mature or whatever. And I'd be like, you still my baby. I'd be like, so, but yeah, so that is awesome. I'm also glad you shared that. Yeah, it's very important to have, high self-esteem. And I make sure I tell my kids like, hey, you're beautiful, you're smart, you can do anything, so that is very important to teach that to, men and women. So,
Yeah.
So, my next question is, since I know you're into outdoors and I want to talk about your outdoor lifestyle, is what type of, I guess, adventurous excursions do you do, or if any?
Yeah, I go hiking a ton and off-roading. Those are kind of the 2 things that I do the most, I would say. But I love to ski. I went skiing yesterday. I'm not great at it. I've only gone a handful of times because I didn't go until I went to Colorado, or until I lived in Colorado. And that's not the best place to learn. It's definitely a very great place to go, but even the easy trails are pretty difficult to learn on, I think. But I also really love mountain biking. I'm really into water sports, like paddleboarding and kayaking. I love it. I've always lived on a lake until I moved to Colorado. And living in Colorado, I didn't have my paddleboard with me or like any sort of kayaks. And so I didn't really do a lot of water sports there, but I would have liked to. But yeah, I just like trying new things, I guess. I think it's a ton of fun. So yeah, I just love being in nature, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I definitely want to hear, some of like your best hiking adventures and just some good hiking areas. Like I said, that's something I want to get into this year or next year.
Yeah.
So, anything you can give us and the people, where to
Yeah.
start, or which for like, a novice like myself who's never hiked really, what are some good trails? Like, hey, if you ever go to Utah or Washington State or whatever, some easy, hey, it's 3 mile hike, it's nice and easy, stuff like that.
Yeah. So definitely download All Trails and kind of look at maps on there. You'll be able to see the elevation, the difficulty and stuff like that. And then you can kind of filter your needs. So if you're looking for something easier, whatever, you can find that on there for wherever you are. But some of my favorite places to hike are if you go to Colorado, definitely, especially as a beginner, I find that Boulder and like Rocky Mountain National Park really caters to the like newbie tourists, I guess, because a lot of the trails, they can be easier, they can be harder. You can like go up to a certain point and then come back down and it's still gorgeous. So yeah, check out those places. I really love Telluride, Colorado, my favorite place in the US to go hiking because it's gorgeous. But if you're looking for like 14ers and like really cool views, but a really hard hike, definitely go to Telluride and like the Blue Lakes, Mount Snuffles area. That's really nice. Zion National Park is beautiful. So definitely check that out. Basically, just check out some national parks, some areas that seem really cool, and just look at All Trails and kind of tailor your needs to that area.
Well, I'm gonna go look at that right now.
Yeah, do that.
I have a forgetful meal.
Yeah, I appreciate the useful apps. I made a mental note about, you said it was Raw Plus. Speaking of apps, when it comes to that, okay, I'm gonna do that because when I go on vacation, and I do rely on the heavy equipment more so than my iPhone, because that's just, I guess that's just natural. My mind goes. But when I go to places, where I may not have to rely on it so much, I would definitely like to try that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to take my DSLR places. It just makes me nervous, but I feel like the quality would be good. But yeah, you can definitely make things work with what you have, especially for people that like have a lower budget. Yeah, Raw Plus is a really great thing, and All Trails, love them both.
Yeah, I just took a screenshot of it so that way once we get off, I'm definitely going to check it out because I'm probably going to start local and get my I don't want to say sea legs, but my hiking legs, and start pinch around and be like, damn, I'm trapped underneath this boulder. I didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, I definitely want to do that. And my follow-up question to that is, because I always think about this, because maybe I used to watch Yogi Bear and all that type of stuff. How is the safe? Like, how do you stay safe when you hike it? Is there? I mean, obviously, it's in nature. So, is there any safety tips you can give people as far as when they're hiking and stuff like that?
Yeah, bring more water and more food than you think you're going to need. Number one, when you do have All Trails, or if you want to use like satellite navigation, like a InReach or something like that, you definitely just want to make sure that you have a map of the area that doesn't rely on internet. So download those for offline use, or straight up just have a map and a compass. Honestly, that gets you places pretty well either. And then whenever you are kind of walking along the trails, just make a note of which way you go, because sometimes trails aren't very well marked and you can go a wrong way, but there's also generally only a couple of ways to go. So you just want to make sure that if you do go somewhere and you kind of get lost, you just turn around, come back the way you came. So yeah, be aware of your surroundings. If you're like in a mountainous area, look at which way the mountains face, because that'll tell you like east or west, north or south really easily. If you just look at that, it doesn't really matter which trail you're on as long as it's going the right way. But yeah, just be aware of your surroundings, take precautions, and just bring a lot of food and a lot of water.
Oh yeah, well yeah, you definitely have more outdoor experience than I do, but I definitely remember one time my wife and I we went to like this little biking trail around the BWI airport area, and we lost track of time. It got dark. We in the woods,
Yeah.
and that was definitely quite an adventure trying to navigate your way out of. Cause like when you know it gets pitch black dark, man. You know.
Yeah,
What I'm saying?
headlamps are great too.
Yeah, man. Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it is smart. Like, and that's the thing is, well, at least for me, because I was in the military, so I slept in the woods a lot. And so, packing essentials is very important. And that's, like I said, that's a no-brainer for me, like bringing the water, extra socks in case your feet get wet, even extra,
Yeah.
depending on, how long you plan on being out there. Like you said, you never know. So
Right.
you definitely, want to bring certain things, especially if it's colder months. Hey, there's nothing wrong with bringing like, heat warmers or maybe like a blanket, like a small blanket, whatever you can fit in your bag.
Yeah.
Definitely say you want to have a good, decent bag so where you can, put your items in there comfortably and still enjoy your hiking experience.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a very, very good point when it's colder out. Definitely like dress properly for the weather. I feel like a lot of people just venture out into the woods and they're like, I'm cold. And I'm like, okay, well, did you dress well? And they're like, no, I'm just wearing some leggings and like a cotton t-shirt. And I'm like, well, that's your first problem.
Yeah, that is. Like I said, I don't have any hiking gear. So, like I said, I was going to go to Dick's Sporting Goods and be like, point me to the hiking section. And,
Yeah.
like I said, I got military gear, but I'm like, I'm not wearing that, so,
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I definitely want to start, get the proper shoes or boots or whatever the case may be, stuff like that. So I start small and work my way up, whatever. But I do plan on hiking, and you'll be seeing pictures of that on my Instagram page.
Heck yeah. That's exciting.
Like it.
I want to get into so many things like scuba diving. Like I actually want to learn how to dive. I want to do that. And if I do it, I'm literally going to start going places like around the world and be like, I gotta, dive here and things of that nature. So
Yeah.
Experience encompass everything, when it comes
Exactly.
to and experiences, stuff like that. So
yeah, I haven't been to a lot of like ocean places, but I have a friend that scuba dives a ton. She has like a lot of certifications for that and like teaches it even. And she's like, dude, you need to get your scuba cert so that we can go diving. And I'm like, dude, I know we need to. So we're both going to do that and it's going to happen and it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, okay. I hope it come out well for you. Like I said, I was about Ryan, he's a lazy, I'm gonna sleep at 3 o'clock in the afternoon type of traveler. And I'd be like, absolutely not. Are you, because we didn't get a chance to ask our last guest. Let me ask you, when you go on vacation, do you, especially if you only got like say 2 or 3 days there, do you find yourself sleeping in all the for the whole day? And you do that?
Well, it depends. No, I mean, okay, I'm not a morning person. So I sleep until like 10 and I like to have slow mornings where I'm just having brunch on the patio, like having a good old time. And then later in the day, I go exploring, I go out at night. But if I'm going hiking or something, I do try to get up early for the sunrise. But it's a struggle.
See, I told you.
But she gets up though, because Ryan be like, I'm not. Don't touch me until 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, I ain't say no 4 o'clock, but hey, I may not move until like noon. I'm like, hey,
I know.
Noon. And to me, like so okay. The reason why I have a problem with that, and it's just my personal, thing on it, is
exactly. Everybody don't think like you, Preston. It's like,
shit though, because I be thinking like, and this is even like more key now because of the times right now. Travel has come down. So a lot of people had to like cancel trips. Or you planned on going back to a location that you was like, oh, man, I want to go back there. But now, because of the situations right now, you can't go back there. And then, I think like you're supposed to take full advantage. Now, I'm not saying wake up at dark 30 and be like, hey, man, it's 5 o'clock. I got my cup of Joe. Let's head out. No.
Yeah.
But like when I went to Colombia 2 years ago, we woke up 7 o'clock in the morning, ate breakfast. We hitting the road by like 8, 9 o'clock. I don't feel like that's early. I feel like that's a normal day because we're only here on a finite time. Like we're only here for a week, 2 days, 3 days, whatever. I don't have time to play around and be like, I might get up because like the weather might change on you. Or be like, because I went to Budapest. We got down to Budapest.
Ooh, that's a fun place.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. And I ain't take full advantage. Well, one, because the weather changed on us and all of a sudden it started raining and I don't travel with umbrellas. So we lost a whole day of travel because, like I said, it rained. And the first day we got there, we did one of Ryan numbers. We said, we're just gonna take it easy and we just going whatever. So then we lost half a day on that first day. It rained the second day. And on the last day, all right, man, it's time to pack up and go back home. I was like, dang it, everything.
Yeah, I think if I have something to do, I'm more motivated to like get up and do it all. If you're going hiking, it's a very good idea to wake up early because afternoon thunderstorms are a thing. So yeah, hikes I try to do early. If I like have to get up, I'll get up. But other than that, you're on vacation to chill, like relax.
See, and I do agree with you, but I look at it as if I want to relax and actually vacation, then I would go to like that type of like a beach area, like a resort type area. I'm all for just sleeping in then. But if I say, hey, I'm going to Mexico City, why am I going to Mexico City to sleep to noon?
That's true. That's very true.
Free in my house, so that's how I just look at it. Like I said, so like as you can see, Ryan and I we've never been on an actual real vacation. So we're gonna have issues. Or not even issues. I'm like, I'm out. Catch me out there, and hopefully you get this, have an experience with us. It's the same thing. What I look at it as when it comes to traveling. I got like my brother. He wants to wait till he's like 83 years old and retired. And I'm like, you could do that, and you probably have more money and all that, but it's going to be different because you're older. It's not going to be the same experience, if you're younger, it's a different feeling. You have more energy, you might want to experience it a different way. Because I
totally agree with that.
I went to Egypt and we went inside the pyramid. There's no way I'm doing that in my 50s, 60s, whatever. Like I did it at one time, I'm never doing it again.
Yeah.
Like, so stressful to try to climb in this tiny little space. I had to get on my knees and I was like, oh no. So I can only imagine if I went and I'm 55 years old. Now, granted, if you're like super fit and all that stuff like that, it might be okay, whatever. But you still, the older you get, your bones and your body just don't act right. The older you get.
I agree.
But while you're young, experience it.
Yeah, do all the adventure stuff now. If you want to lay on the beach and stuff, do that when you're older. Like you can do that when you're retired. But for now, I'm like, I want to go hike all the mountains in the world. Like, let's see what we can do and never get tired and stay up until 6 a.m. and just live our best lives. I totally agree. My brother and I are actually going to Egypt in 2022. He is studying abroad in Cyprus for a bit. So we want to do like Turkey and Egypt and those kinds of places.
Nice. That's all right.
Like I want to go to like Turkey, Jordan, like Israel. Like,
those places.
I want to go to Oman. I want to go to a couple different spots, or whatever. But
you didn't go there in the military?
No, I'm so glad. I mean, I went to Iraq and Afghanistan. I went to Kyrgyzstan. I went to
all the stands.
Yeah, all the stands, and they all sucked. You know what I'm saying? But they sucked. You know what I'm saying? I like Kuwait. Kuwait was nice.
Okay.
Kuwait was nice. I mean, it's hot. I mean, it's hot as hell. I mean, that's not stress enough. It is hot. And,
I love heat.
It's a different type of heat,
Yeah, desert heat.
Yeah, so
that over there, that's gonna be hot.
Yeah, I lived in Korea for a year, and that was awesome. It got cold as hell though. I was like, damn, it's just like extreme temperatures, So I haven't done any I guess any real winter traveling, and I went to like Switzerland and stuff like that, but you know, I ain't never done no real hardcore. I'm leaving the States and I'm flying over here like during the winter months. You know, I might start doing that maybe. I don't know, because like one of my like goals is I want to go to Antarctica, and that's like a $5,000 trip at least. So I don't know when I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it one day.
Yeah.
I'm saving up for that because that's definitely on my bucket list of
Cool.
So the only two continents I haven't been is Australia and other one, like I said, Antarctica. So
right.
That sounds so fun. I would love to go to Antarctica, but yeah, I'm kind of wussy about the cold too. It's extreme cold. I love the winter time now. I never used to, but like within the last couple of years, I really love like the snow, and I just think it's really fun. But I don't know, Antarctica's a lot. I'm sure it would be worth it though.
Yeah, and so when I been going on this journey of, you know, trying to get my Instagram going and things of that nature, and I come across pages like yours, and I'd be like, damn, that looks fun. That's why I said the hiking. Because like before, I never was like, man, going hiking. I'm gonna like wake up for no reason and go hike. But now I'm sitting there like, damn, these some beautiful pictures that I'm just seeing. I'm like, I want to experience these type of things. And then I same thing when it comes to like, you know, snow and stuff like that. I've seen some beautiful, you know, snow, you know, forest type pictures. I'd be like, man, that's beautiful. So that's why like I'm gonna try to get into this, dabble in everything, and just a full gamut of, you know, of experiences. So that's
I agree. Yeah, I like having a lot of different types of experiences. I agree with that.
I like it. Did you have any other questions, Preston? I didn't want to cut you off.
Go into our rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So we got 10 rapid fire questions. Whatever your first thought is.
Okay.
Are you ready? All right.
I'm ready.
Okay. Luxury or budget?
Budget.
Sound kind of iffy on that.
Right. She was hesitant. She was like,
I like luxury. I do, but I don't know. Budget is, you meet really fun people and you stay in some really cool places, I feel like, when you travel on a budget.
I like it.
And you can travel for longer.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I agree.
Train or plane?
Train.
Okay. Hostel or hotel?
Hostel.
City life or beach?
Beach.
Okay. Desert or tropical?
Tropical.
Okay. Cold destination or hot destination?
Hot.
Okay. Off the beaten path or organized excursion?
Off the beaten path. Lost off the beaten path. My favorite way to be.
There you go.
Photo or video?
Photo. I'm trying to get better at video, but for now, photo.
Okay. Solo or group?
Solo.
Fast food or dining in?
Street food. So I guess fast food, but I wouldn't like go somewhere and eat McDonald's and Starbucks.
Okay.
Street food, yeah, I like street food. Street food, that's like that's cuisine.
Oh yeah.
Some random person on the street, you'd be like, I don't think you wash these dishes in years, but that food, the extra flavor.
Yeah, but that food smells fire.
Yeah, I've never.
Yeah, that's what it is. You know, that's why we did in Mexico. Yeah, my wife and I. But yeah, you did well in those questions. Yeah, like I said, I allow with some of those. I'm like, man, I haven't done really a lot of trains, but I want to do like it's some train in Asia. I can't remember, but it's like goes like through the mountains, and people always like leaning out the window, and they got like I don't know what train that is, but I definitely want to do that. I don't know if I'm gonna lean out though, but
yeah, I don't know if I would lean out, but
like when you lose your grip, you know, anything can happen, a gust of wind, but hey, you know, who am I? I do. But yeah,
I do.
You for answering those 10 questions. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I apologize, Megan. We about to say you said when it came to street food, you said you haven't experienced as much street food or anything like that, or?
I don't know. I don't want to go a place and sit in a restaurant for like 2-3 hours, like 3 times a day. You know what I mean? I'd rather just like grab something really quickly and like continue on my way. I don't know. Yeah. I think that's
Gotcha.
all I'm gonna say. Thanks.
For sure, for sure.
Awesome.
Mhm.
So, like you said, like one last time, I think you want to, plug,
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you can find me Lost and Found Travel at laftravel.com or at LAF Travel on Instagram and Pinterest. I don't have like a Facebook or a Twitter or anything right now, but yeah, we have a lot of fun on Instagram. I ask a lot of questions and I show a lot of pictures and videos of my dog, which people really love. So Instagram's a lot of fun. And then you can find a ton of information about solo travel, outdoor travel, everything you need to know on laughtravel.com.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Thank you for plugging that. And I want to say thank you for coming on the show again. We really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks so much for having me. It was a really fun time.
Oh,
You
yeah,
guys
absolutely.
talk to have me anytime.
Oh, thank you. I was just about to say thank you for those kind words. And I was just about to say, if there's, even though we're just starting out and things of that nature, if you feel like there's anything you need to plug and you feel like we can, in some type of capacity, help out, feel free to reach out and come back on the show. And we would love to talk or promote anything you got going on.
Yeah, I'd love to see your guys' photography get better and try out some fun hikes and stuff like that. So
I am. When I go on my first hike, I'm gonna tag you.
Yeah, you better.
I'm out here.
You're like, I'm out here. I don't know where I am.
I know what I'm doing.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, well, I say just thank you, and we're gonna sign off now.
Peace.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
You too.
Right.